Want some precious alone time? Here are the 10 best single-player games you can play on PC in 2019. Time dedicated to you is good, and that's exactly what single-player games are so wonderful for. Making you a true hero, making you the centre of everyone's universe, the one who everyone asks for help and just can't do things without. In some cases, the challenges might be significantly harder than you'd imagine. Oh, hi Sekiro. But that's exactly what being a hero is all about. Doing things that no one else can do. Or, looking great while you ride a horse across a wonderful fantasy world. Either works. It's time for the 10 best single-player games you can play on PC in 2019.
Hey, I'm glad we're getting personal.
So, just a full reinvention of an 11-year franchise then? Oh, go on Ubisoft. Assassin's Creed Odyssey builds on the RPG elements of Origins in every way. Full-on decision trees, dialogue choices, and romance options abound in this ancient Greek adventure. And whether you choose Alexios or the brilliant Cassandra, this trip into the Animus means ditching the hidden blade altogether and replacing it with a magical spear. Who needs Assassin's Creed to be historically accurate when you can Hulk smash waves of Spartans in bloody battles, or kick everyone you see into next week thanks to your magical superpowers. Ancient Greece is a sprawling, beautiful playground of murderous fun, and whether you're taking to the seas on board your trireme the Adrestia, or in a battle to the death with Greek mythical creatures, Odyssey is a literally epic single-player adventure. I never thought I'd say it, but I didn't think I could ever forget about the hidden blade this quickly. Sorry, Ezio.
The girl's coming with me. I'd suggest not standing in our way.
As fabulous as the original Resi 2 was, there was reason to be sceptical about the remake. How could an ancient game get a faithful update and still feel relevant? How could zombies, now as ubiquitous in games as red barrels and generating health, still inspire dread? Well, like this. That's how. The Resi 2 remake proves that true survival horror is as ruthlessly compelling in 2019 as it was in the 90s. You'll cling onto your precious ammo and fear every dangerous foray into the doomed Raccoon City Police Department. And when Mr. X arrives and starts pursuing you like a genetically enhanced stalker after an autograph, the game reaches a whole other level of nope. There's loads of game here, assuming your nerves can take it. Once you're done with one playthrough, there's a whole other scenario to complete, and the Ghost Survivors mode adds even more meat to the mutated bones of Raccoon City. Go on, it's okay. Check the title of this video again. Yep, it really does say 2019, and yet here's 2015's The Witcher 3 rocking up to this list feature like an uninvited uncle at a college keg party. But the thing is, it's still one of the best games ever made, and if you haven't got around to playing it, your gaming bucket list remains woefully incomplete. Visually, it holds up amazingly well. If zooming into Geralt's 4K beard is wrong, I don't want to be right. And narratively, few games come close to the sweep and scale of The Witcher 3. It's hopeless to even try to do the game justice by including specifics, but there are side quests here whose stories put some AAA releases to shame. No other game does such a rich, unflinching job of portraying a land scarred by war, where answers to questions are rarely so simple as right or wrong. And we got through this entire entry without even mentioning the bloody Baron.
But I've changed. Ask anyone. Geralt, come, tell her.
Much like the game itself, Hitman 2 didn't make a huge fuss when it was released. Instead, it crept silently into the first game's bedroom and smothered it with a pillow while it slept, which is a long-winded way of saying that the most recent Hitman game is even better than the wonderful original. It's still an example of everything that makes this sort of game great: inventive, emergent, and bristling with murderous imagination. One moment you're pushing targets down holes while dressed as a flamingo, the next you're dropping cars onto helpless mechanics. Well, just because you can. One level of Hitman 2 contains enough replayability to keep even those most creative contract killers entertained for weeks. And there's something pleasantly nostalgic about that. Not only does it harken back to our time with Blood Money, it reminds us of a time where one game would last for ages. One game, in this case, featuring a man-sized homicidal wading bird. You'd think life would get a little easier when you're no longer stuck in the post-apocalyptic subway tunnels beneath Moscow, but Metro Exodus is what happens when you get above ground, and it's not particularly pleasant either. This new adventure for Artyom and his band of fellow survivors sees you taking a train across the country, but this is no Hogwarts Express. No matter where you stop, there's horrifying mutants to tackle and a whole lot of cleaning your gas mask to do. Once again, 4A Games delivers a truly immersive survival horror experience, and the new open world hub levels means plenty of exploring and risking life and limb to find extra precious craftables. Add in the level of choice you've got to show mercy or kill 'em all, and Metro Exodus is an enjoyable, if sometimes painful, trip through the post-apocalypse. If this was a list of the best single-player games ever made, then Sekiro would have serious competition from Dark Souls, but the focus on recent releases made this an easier choice. And not only that, but Sekiro is the best Soulsborne game, for the want of a more elegant moniker, that offers a pure single-player experience. There are no phantoms invading your game here, and perhaps more importantly, no jolly cooperation to help you get through the hardest bits. Mastering Sekiro requires tens of hours of perfect parries and unshakable resolve, making it one of the purest challenges a single player can face. It's almost like there's a reason that the main character is a loner called Wolf. Beating Sekiro is proof that you'll never need help with a boss again. Why the apocalypse, you ask? Why not Far Cry 5 with its culty, drug-fueled Americana? Well, it's not just the fact that you can ride in a sidecar with a dog and have a boar called Horatio that swings it for Far Cry New Dawn, but the sheer Far Cry-osity of this particular offering. This is a sandbox of sheer stuff, at its most fun and ludicrously obvious. The endless collecting of things and ticking off of map activities to procure even more digital trinkets to turn yourself into a one-person John Wick is an absurdly fun loop. Throw in a genuinely beautiful, bright apocalypse to explore, ludicrous companions and genuinely fun missions, and it just doesn't matter that this is a recycled version of Hope County. You've got a saw launcher and you really, really know how to use it. Ouch. Surely Capcom couldn't reboot two venerable but dated franchises in a single year? Hasn't the era of floppy hair and leather trench coats long since passed? Not according to Devil May Cry, as it screeches into view in a gravity-ignoring van, revs up its absurd weapons, and proceeds to not give a flying fig what 2019 thinks is cool. This is a game so totally confident in its own badassery that it transcends criticism. A game with the swagger of a tuxedo-wearing hipster roasting coffee beans inside a loafer. It's full of things you didn't know you wanted to do, like beating up demons with an actual motorbike, replacing your arm with weaponised cutlery, and fighting monsters with a spirit panther, like you're the front cover of an 80s thrash album brought to life. It's a breathless, brilliant, hilariously enjoyable action game, and another example of why Capcom should bring back all their old games. While we're at it, let's have Power Stone, Dino Crisis, Clock Tower, Rival Schools, Darkstalkers, Gargoyles Quest, Saturday Night Slam. A good single-player game should keep you entertained for hours and leave you feeling like you've experienced a nourishing story. Yakuza 0 will keep you entertained for weeks, leave you feeling like you've played 2 full-length narrative experiences, and give you a fresh enthusiasm for crane games and Japanese cuisine. It's one of the most absurdly generous single-player games ever made, with 2 dense locations packed with fun distractions and 2 lead characters you'll absolutely learn to love. If you've never played a Yakuza game, 0 is the place to start, not least because it's the perfect setup for a bright PC future full of remasters of the original series. If you thought 2 lead characters was indulgent, just wait till you get to Yakuza 5. Play this and you'll wonder what filled the gaps in your life before digital karaoke, disco dancing and kicking goons off bridges. We'll finish up with something a little left field, especially after an entry celebrating the sprawling Yakuza 0. Minute is a curious adventure game where each run lasts just 60 seconds. Yes, 60 actual seconds, about the same length as this entry, before you die and start again. It's part Russian doll, part Legend of Zelda speedrun. That means that every game is a test of your efficiency as you backtrack and try and get further than you did in your last brilliant but brief run. It sounds frustrating, but it really isn't. Instead, it's a concise, intelligent puzzle game where the lack of time actually enhances your enjoyment. It's all about planning what you're going to do with your next life, and it plays with the expectation and understanding that we've built from a lifetime spent playing games. Each run might only last 60 seconds, but there's hours of enjoyment to be had in this tidy, crisply designed adventure. Time's up! Let us know what single-player games you're playing at the moment and what titles we've missed that deserve everyone's attention. And don't forget to smash that like button if you've played any of these games, and subscribe to the channel for more top 10s and features. And if you are already subscribed, go ahead and hit that notification bell so you can get involved when our next video arrives. Thanks for watching.